Next tonight. Now, February can be truly horrible, what with recession, depression, grimness, greyness and biting cold. But a new book, Skimming Stones and Other Ways of Being in the Wild, urges us all to put those negative thoughts aside and reconnect with nature, discovering the pleasures of life that cost nothing at all. I layered up with thermals and went to meet the authors, Rob Cowan and Leo Critchley, to find out more. City life. Hustle, bustle, the constant thrum of activity. 90% of Britain lives in an urban area. Many of us never seem to leave the concrete jungle. 2/3 of children play outside less than once a week, and 50% of adults visit a natural environment less than once a week. As a nation, we seem to have become detached from the great outdoors. The natural world is an alien and scary place, best avoided. Now I know I spend far too much time indoors, in art galleries, watching TV, in front of a computer. And when I do get out somewhere like this, and I feel the sea wind blowing in my face, I instantly feel better. But in their new book, Rob Cowan and Leo Critchley go further than that. They argue that getting into nature is totally essential to your health. And at the centre of it, they place a great amount of importance on play. I think for them, it's as if we can shed our adult, inhibited, grown-up selves and learn to become children again, we can rediscover the grandeur and the beauty of all this. Something I haven't done since childhood. Skimming stones on a beach.
Lovely.
So what was your motivation for writing this book? And you were both living in a city. Was it a desire to escape your lives in some sense? Was that the fuel behind it?
I think it started with that, didn't it?
I think fairly say that.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a philosophy born out of escapism.
Yeah.
In that our need to escape from the urban environment led to us thinking more deeply about why it is that humans have this innate yearning to be in nature.
And what is it that you feel that we lose if we spend all our time in cities? What is it about city life? Because what comes across from the book is a feeling, the only word I can think for it is alienation.
There's that curious reversal where, because so much in the city is demanding your attention, whether it's deadlines or the noise of traffic or lights or whatever it is, there's all this stimulus. And actually the only way to deal with it is to kind of disengage.
If you're in the city, you're in a room where everyone's shouting.
Yeah.
Whereas you're in the countryside, it's almost as if no one's shouting.
And it becomes up to you where you put your attention.
And it's similar to an art gallery, really. When you enter an art gallery, your senses change from the street outside. You're in a space that has this influence on you, has a transformative effect.
So there's a serious sort of agenda behind the kite building and the stone skimming.
Yeah,
I think so.
They're beguilingly simple, but they're a doorway into something else, I think.
We wanted to investigate the philosophical side of that. Why is it nature has this effect on us,
I mean, we said this was born of escapism, but you can, to some extent, if you take the time to slow down, you can bottle some of that and bring it back with you.
So escape to reality.
Yes, escape to reality, and you come back stronger for it, I think.
Certainly colder.
Yeah. Certainly colder. Tougher.
Yes. Keen to avoid frostbite on the beach, we head for a bit of shelter in a nearby forest. So what's next on the menu?
We're going to make an elder whistle with a piece of elder here.
Here's our piece of elder. And you see inside is a nice ring of pith, which is extremely soft. If you just push that with your nail,
right,
you see that we're going to be able to push that right out.
So what do I do?
Have a go on that.
Just take off the top layer down to what looks like the bone of the wood.
That's
great. What is it that drew you to whistle making? I mean, what is that? Because you guys get lost a lot.
Something like that. I mean, the whole process of carving is a pleasure anyway. It's about reordering wood, and it's a therapeutic thing to do.
But why a whistle?
Well, the history of, whistles is rife with examples of them being used to coordinate people over distances, that sort of thing. And really connecting with history was a big part of it. So elder is a tree with all sorts of cultural significances. It's known as boarwood.
It's in a lot of classical myth.
Exactly.
It has
the Hildemoor in Scandinavian myth.
So that's the mouth, is it?
That's the mouthpiece. You can see it grinning away at you there. The next stage is the plug, the fipple plug.
I like the name.
Yeah, it's got a lovely sound to it.
And what, you slot that into
You just slot that into the top of the whistle there.
And that means I'm good to go. I'm going to discover my inner woodland musician. So here goes. It's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like the Woodland Express. Now, all this outdoors activity is fine as long as you have a nice, comfy, warm bed to go home to. But Rob and Leo have other ideas. They're proposing that I spend a night sleeping outdoors, inside a den made from scavenged bits of wood and loose leaves. You've built a few of these, haven't you?
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm not entirely convinced. OK, so this is my wilderness hotel room. I mean, is this 1 star, 2 star, 3 star?
I'd say this was a 1 star, given the speed we built it in. But in terms of a room with a view, Andrew, it's definitely 5 star.
OK. It looks more inviting than when we started, I'll give you that. Rob and Leo promised to put me in touch with nature. I'm certainly in touch with nature. Without being cynical, my senses have come alive. I can smell the wood, I can smell the leaves, I've been listening to the bird song, I've been tuning in to the river, trilling along at the bottom of the hill. And there is something peaceful and therapeutic about just stopping and letting all that come over you. The thing is, if I do panic and if I do need help, I've got this.